Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, welcome, and consider subscribing for new videos every week. Today we're smoking a pork shoulder, or a Boston butt, or you may see in the supermarket as a pork butt. We're not talking about this pork butt, we're talking about this pork butt. This is the pork shoulder. Pork butt is actually the ham. So let's get right into this. We got our pork butt here. We're going to trim it up because we don't need all this excess fat. It's not going to render off, and there's plenty of fat throughout this whole piece of meat. So let's just start removing this. Until we see red. See here, this looks like it's more meat, but underneath you see all this fat. We want to remove that. It's not going to be a good chew. See all that fat? I want to expose this muscle here and get nice slices out of that. Call that the money muscle in competition barbecue. Beautiful slices of that will make you money. This looks pretty good. And just feel any bone fragments or anything that doesn't feel nice. Right here. You keep all that pork fat, all that trimming. You can use it for sausage. Okay, so we're going to inject this pork butt with just apple juice and garlic powder. Don't have to go too crazy with an injection, but just keep the moisture in there, give it a little flavor. If you put too much acid in an injection, it'll break down the meat too much, and then you'll have a mush. You won't have pulled pork, you'll have just mushed pork. We don't want that. So we'll just get in there. You see the meat swell. Some comes out, that's okay. We'll rub that on there. That'll act as a binder for our rub. A big piece of meat like this, it's really good to inject because the smoke isn't going to get deep into the meat. Our rub is on the outside, so we really want that flavor and moisture deep into the meat. Make sure we get some in this muscle here. Okay, that looks good. It's nice and injected. We'll get our rub on there. It's the same rub that we used for our baby back ribs. If you didn't see that video, I'll link below. Make sure you check that out after this. Same rub, and then we're going to use the same sauce for this. I'm not going to sauce all the pork when we're finished. We'll leave some of it just with our rub and bark. So generously apply our rub. Get in all the crevices. Let that soak for 10 minutes. Flip it over. All right, we get our rub on the other side. And the smoker at 275. If you didn't see the video, I got a video reviewing the smoker. Check that out. I'll link that as well. All right, let that rub sit on there, 10 minutes, ready for the smoker. All right, smoker's ready. Put this on. Let that go about 5 hours. Make sure our color's nice, and then we'll wrap it up to finish it. Been a little over 4 hours. Let's take a look at this. That's looking nice. Bark feels good. I like where the color's at. Let's get the temperature. We're at 153. So let's let this go a little longer, about another hour. Then we should be ready to wrap it up and let this finish cooking. we've had our pork shoulder on the smoker for about 5 hours. Our internal temperature is just over 160 degrees. I like where the bark is at. I like the color. You can see the fat rendering out. So in order to get this to pull, we want it at a minimum of 190 degrees, preferably closer to 200. So now's a good time to wrap it. So I put it in this aluminum half tray here. We'll cover it with foil. But we're going to take the remaining of that apple juice garlic mixture we injected, put that on the bottom. We'll put some butter on the top, a little bit of brown sugar, and just a squeeze of honey. And this is all going to melt and steam with the meat, mix with the fat, and we can mix that into our pulled pork, make really delicious finished product. So we'll cover this up, make sure it's nice and tight. We'll bump up the smoker to 300 degrees. We'll check on this in about an hour and a half or so.
Been an hour and a half. Get a temperature on this. We'll see where we're at. You can also tell by how easily the probe goes into the meat. That goes in with not much resistance. Yeah, 203. These look good. Let's get this off and get ready to cut it up. We'll let this hang out for 15-20 minutes or so. Give you a good look at this. Looking real nice. Nice bark, nice mahogany color. So let's get into this here. Gotta start with a couple of forks. It's just pulling apart nice and easy. It's what you want. Smells great too. Actually, I want to go ahead and I want to take off this money muscle before I forget. Get in there and we'll set this aside. We get some nice slices. Get back in here, we'll separate these. I don't like to pull the entire shoulder. I like to have some chunks, some pull, slices on that money muscle. Give this a taste. Looks real nice. That's perfect. It's melt in your mouth. We'll set these aside here. Let's get our money muscle sliced. Oh yeah. Nice and tender. See that beautiful smoke ring. The juices aren't running all over the board. They're still in the meat. This you keep for yourself. Look at that juice. All right, I'll set that aside. Just get it glazed up a bit. A little bit of our sauce here. Vinegar-based sauce. Really complements the pork well. Just a little bit on there. I don't want to overdo it. That looks great. All right, we'll keep pulling the meat here. Make sure we mix in the bark nicely with our meat. We'll cut this up a little bit. We'll cut some chunks. Like almost like a pork burn end here. See all that juice coming out. That's a nice cook. We'll take our braising liquid here that we used, the brown sugar, the honey, the butter. We'll dip our meat in that a little bit just to give it some more flavor. Cube up some of this bark. That's a great bite right there. And here we go. We got a little plate of pork shoulder here. We got our money muscle sliced. We got some pulled meat, some chunks. That looks great. Hit a little more sauce here, a little bit right there. Grab a beer and you're good to go. That's a plate of barbecue. Here's the rest of our pork shoulder pulled. Got plenty of meat here. And that's it. Smoked pork shoulder. Give this video a like, it really helps the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We have new videos every week. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.